image of the president striding across the White House lawn to jump into Marine One. The Black Hawk helicopters in use now were introduced in 1979. They're a bargain at about $15 million each.
To me, the most interesting thing about Marine One is it's a helicopter, and you can talk in a whisper on the helicopter and still be heard.
The problem with a helicopter is that it can be shot down relatively easily, and the Black Hawk, workhorse of American ground forces, has been numerous times.
Beast.
This proliferation of heat-seeking anti-aircraft weapons, shoulder-fired missiles, is probably the most dangerous development for the Secret Service.
Ironically, the threat comes originally from the United States.
Back in the 80s, we had provided Stinger missiles to the Afghan resistance to the Soviet Union. It was always a great concern that some of those missiles had fallen into the wrong hands and they might be being used against the president or other targets.
There are 30,000 parts in a Black Hawk helicopter, and over 200 are what is called flight critical. It takes just one failure to bring the copter down, or just one projectile. To protect against this possibility, Marine One always flies in groups of up to 5 identical helicopters.
Sort of the three cups, you know, the guy that moves the 3 cups around. You know, I mean, it's the same concept, is that you want to try to disguise whatever helicopter he may be in, and that's been an effective way to do that.
While Marine One can be part of what is called the presidential shell game, there is no way to disguise Air Force One. This Boeing 747 is 6 stories tall, with the capability of staying aloft indefinitely with air-to-air refueling. The 4,000 square feet of floor space include a suite for the president, infirmary with operating table, conference room, offices, and an area for the press. But the exact layout is a closely guarded secret. Air Force One is powered by 4 CF-6 80C2 jet engines, each rated at 56,750 pounds of thrust. The plane cruises at 610 miles per hour. Extensive testing makes sure the jets perform efficiently in the worst weather conditions. Still, the same Stinger shoulder-mounted missiles that the Taliban used to shoot down helicopters in Afghanistan can bring down Air Force One.
About 5 years ago, an Al-Qaeda operation shot a heat-seeking missile at an aircraft in Mombasa, Kenya, and fortunately missed. So that is one of those scenarios that's still out there, that's been attempted recently, and is a nightmare for the Secret Service.
On September 11th, 2001, the Secret Service thought it might be facing that very possibility. America was under attack, and Air Force One had become the White House.
And so Air Force One flew up to 45,000 feet and went into something that I think was practiced during the Cold War, part of the Cold War planning, which was just flying randomly in the sky.
President George W. Bush wanted to return to Washington immediately, but now the Secret Service was in charge.
It's not a movie, and if something, God forbid, ever happened to the president, can you imagine how much deeper the crisis gets?
Yeah, because you knew it was going to come down.
The Secret Service.
With the fortress of the Pentagon still smoldering, the Capitol was not yet considered safe. For the first time over American soil, Air Force One had a fighter escort. Finally, after 9 hours and 2 stops at secure Air Force bases, President Bush returned to Washington and talked to the nation from the Oval Office.
Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
But a crucial lesson
You
had
did.
learned. Air Force One has to be ready to be the center of American government in an emergency. While he was airborne on 9/11, President Bush had been unable to broadcast from the plane. Now, a new communication system makes Air Force One as technologically up-to-date as the White House. What 9/11 showed in stunningly clear relief was that the Secret Service faces a new kind of threat.
The audacity of that attack has changed everything and up the ante for counterterrorism and security officials around the world.
Since 9/11, the the Secret Service sees potential threats everywhere, even in the place that should be the president's safest haven, his own home, the White House.